Janine, if you're booking Christmas sessions for November in July and you're continuing booking it in November, what time period do you start preparing for Q1 of the next year?
I've already started. And actually, you guys tease me about when I go on plane rides and go places. That's honestly when I love flying as the rest of the world shuts off.
We all love going on vacation, so of course you love flying.
I'm not on vacation. I'm at a wedding. I find time to shut off from the world to start planning because I have to, right? How would I know that I'm going to do these beach princess sessions in January and get this theme set up and get it photographed and everything if I was only in Christmas mode for now? We are a retail establishment. We have to think a season ahead. And I know people joke about it when they go to the stores and they see Halloween being sold in August, but that's what retail places have to do. And so for us, we always have to think a season ahead because we have to prepare for it. And you have to get your marketing out, your messaging out and everything ready to go because if you're thinking about it the day it needs to happen, it's too late.
Hey, welcome to the Difference Maker Revolution podcast. And why are you all laughing?
You scared everyone.
Scared everyone. Oh my goodness.
Jonathan, you make me smile.
It's so good to be back on a podcast. I know I was banned for the last 12 weeks, but that's okay. It's great to be back with Brad, Steve, and Janine. And today we're going to talk about preparing for the holidays. Because you can't use the C word in America, apparently. So,
please don't say the C word, Jonathan. You're going to get us banned from podcasts. You can't say that. No, bad. The C word. Good Lord.
By that, we mean like in the UK and Ireland, we call it, in Australia and New Zealand, we call it Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Fine. Oh, Lord Almighty. Yes, Christmas.
So preparing for Christmas, isn't everyone always well prepared in advance for Christmas?
Well, it's the same day every year. You would think everybody would be.
You think businesses would be prepared and ready to go for something that happens every single year?
You'd imagine so.
And it's a busy time of year. So I think if people aren't ready early, then we tend to miss out. So we need to be ready early. And we know because it's on the same day every year, right?
So what does that mean? What's being ready early?
Well, it's having your Christmas cards ready to go and promoting Christmas and the fact that people need to come in fairly early. Our messaging was, start coming in October. And November was a huge month because a lot of families were coming in to be photographed, wanting their wall art for Christmas. But then by the time this comes out, it'll be November. So at that time, and if it's especially mid-November, we really would be stocked up on our treasure boxes from 3XM, and we would be really promising people that we would be able to get them back to them before Christmas at that point because the labs are pushing themselves to get stuff back to us for Christmas. So the focus was selling portrait boxes November, even into early December because you could easily get the 8x10s back. We had the boxes in stock and we would end up having to slide them in ourselves to get them out. And just promising people that when they did order wall art, not to worry, it'll come in January. But they'll have their portrait boxes. And I think as long as people had something for Christmas, they were happy. Did you find the same, Janine? Do you find the same?
Yeah. And, we print in-house our 8x10s and smaller. So we print right up until the 20th. And so, which also, by the way, I will say is very important to communicate. Christmas means something different to everybody because some people are traveling for the holidays. Some people have to ship overseas for the holidays. So it's not just a matter of having things ready for December 24th and 25th. It's when is Christmas to you, Steve? Do you need your Christmas gifts by December 1st because you're shipping them over to Australia? Or do you need them on December 20th because you're getting on a plane, right? So it's always really important to communicate when is your Christmas deadline personally, not just when is Christmas. But yeah, we do our treasure boxes a couple different ways because we have our Christmas ones too. And so we have clients who purchase Christmas boxes and then we'll fill them. But yeah, we print. When we were doing it from the labs, we would do it up until a certain date. And now that we print the 8x10s and smaller in house, we can do it right up until. So you stock the boxes in and you fill them up. And we do find people are very, as long as we can get them what they want to gift and something for themselves in time for Christmas, the rest can come later. And that's what we tell them, like, this is what we're going to do now, and this is going to be delivered. And then in January, you get a second Christmas. And they love it. It makes them smile in January, and it's already been paid for, right? So now they get to open up something else again in January, and it makes them smile.
But I think a lot of people stop taking orders because they think they can't get it back from the lab. But there's always that. The treasure boxes are still very profitable, and it's a high dollar value item. Yeah,
and it's interesting you said that, Steve, because I do find that to be one of the biggest, I don't know, like, I understand why people give deadlines, and obviously you need to give them, but I'll see photographers do, your final day to order for Christmas is November 10th or November 15th. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, some people aren't even thinking, like, you're killing yourself in sales. If you're not offering something through into December, when people actually are in that mindset, and in the US, right? A lot of people get in that mindset after Thanksgiving. Okay, now it's go time. I need to shop for Christmas. And so if you cut yourself off because of traditional deadlines that you have, that it takes 4 to 6 weeks to deliver products, you're killing yourselves in November and December when you don't have to.
It's also a time when you need to have something else for them to buy. So those people, we used to get a lot of people that would come in and they were gifting themselves. It was mostly a gift for the family or a gift for themselves that they were buying. But we had offerings for gift certificates, and we used to sell a lot of gift certificates as the add-on because they've had such a great time and they want to give it to somebody else. And so then just having we had a menu of different offerings. It just meant that somebody would be spending an extra $500, sometimes $900 on a gift certificate and it's usually a parent or usually a sibling, usually. But it's that extra $500, and it's not just the extra $500, it's the extra client that you're going to get in the new year because they're going to give it to them as a Christmas present. So just having them ready and knowing what the offering is, because they want a little bit of a sweetener, they want a little bit of a deal as well. And so then we would just have, three different suggestions. But obviously having gift certificates that are ready to go that you can actually write amounts on, because we had a few people that were like, no, I want to pay for the artwork. And so you've got to put a very different value on those ones.
You also mentioned Christmas cards. So do you send Christmas cards to all of your clients?
We would start with filtering through and seeing how many we get at a certain level. So we would start at 2,500 up, and we would go 2 years, start with 2 years back, then go 3 years back, and then lower that to 1,800, and then just see how many we would get. So on average, we would send just over 2,000 Christmas cards, which is a lot.
And what was included in the Christmas cards?
So most, because it would vary, but usually we would include a thank you. There was a card, then we had like another card in there that was a thank you, and so the card was a thank you, and we always made sure that when we printed our Christmas cards, it was the team, and it was printed horizontally, so then it would stand high, because a lot of people will put them on a desk or put them on something, and so then ours is elevated, and then our brand was on the top rather than the bottom to make sure that it was seen. And then we would thank them for being an incredible client. And then there was a card in there basically giving them instructions on, because we also included another 2 gift certificates in with it that they could either give to a friend or come back. And then the third card in there was the instructions on how to gift this and the value of it, and that for them to choose somebody wisely, somebody that they believed would love to have a transformational experience themselves. And that really that promotion kept us busy for 3 months usually afterwards, because we would mail them beginning of November, and that would keep us busy November, December, January, February, 4 months really. So it was a big promotion for us, and that's why we would send 2,000 cards and work backwards.
So it's November 18th. So is it too late to start booking clients for Christmas sessions, Janine?
No. Well, it depends on how you do it. You know me, I'm a little crazy this way. I love photographing all the time. So we like all of our sessions for November have pretty much been booked now since July, right? Because we do the big Christmas and July open house. Since July. Yeah, crazy, right? We do our big Christmas and July open house, and we get all of our existing clients to come in, preview our themes, and book. But we do continue booking throughout November for new clients, for people who've come in from birthdays and then they come back again, or people who see us online, and they'll come in through November. But then we do run in the beginning of December. Did you forget that Christmas was in 4 weeks or 3 weeks and need a last minute Christmas session? And so we will do a last minute. We have a last minute weekend, and you'd be surprised. People forget. People don't plan, Jono. People don't plan. And it is my job to gift them this experience so that they can have portraits in time for Christmas. Why would I not photograph them? Why would I not give them this amazing spirit of Christmas for their family? So yes, of course we book them last minute. I would not say no to these people who need Christmas portraits. They need my Christmas cheer. They need holiday spirit. They need ho, ho, ho and Merry Christmas and candy canes. And our motto throughout the holidays is peppermint kisses and marshmallow dreams. And that's what we give everyone. And so, yes, no, we will, it's not too late to book, but you have to have the plan. Your plan has already got to be in place. And if it's not, you better get on it and get it done by tonight. So, yeah.
But this is going out in November. So what else is happening in November?
In the US, we have Thanksgiving.
So what do you do for that? Is that an occasion for people to want to come in for a session?
So Thanksgiving itself, are you asking the week of Thanksgiving, or you're trying to get me to talk about Black Friday?
Well, it's November. So what happens in November?
Football. It's football, food, and family. That's what we say. Football, food, and family that week of Thanksgiving. So the week of Thanksgiving is a great time. If you're a family portrait photographer, a lot of so kids are home from college, right? Kids come home from college that week. Families are together. Grandparents come in town, or kids go to their grandparents, wherever it is. If you're in a town where people live and the grandparents come, or if you're in a town where the grandparents are and the kids come, it's a family gets together for Thanksgiving. So those 3 days before is a fantastic time. Your calendar should be completely booked with family portrait sessions, as well as the Saturday and Sunday after. Now, how you run your business is totally up to you. We go 6 weeks straight through October and November. So Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday, peace out. I'm done. We close the studio those 2 days. I'm eating lots of food. I'm watching lots of football, and I'm spending lots of time with family. And then on Friday, we shop. Right. So on Thursday we eat, on Friday we shop, and then we go back to working again on Saturday. So that's how we run our business. Everybody's going to run their business a little bit differently.
So when do you start marketing for that?
For food, family, and football?
You said everybody should be full.
So yeah, we'll be marketing. We're marketing for that now. We start now.
Nice.
But honestly, it's an internal market for us. We've photographed very few new clients that week of Thanksgiving. It's mostly full with our existing clients.
But there's nothing stopping people from attracting new clients as well.
There is not. No.
And if you've missed out and haven't done the planning, then you could put it in your diary for next year if you're listening to this. And so then you're reminded. When should you start?
Well, and it's funny because traditionally for us, our Santa portraits are always the Sunday after Thanksgiving, have been for 15 years. And this year, Santa is going on a family cruise that week because his family decided it was a family reunion and didn't care that he's Santa Claus. So he's going on a cruise that week. So we had to reschedule our Santa portraits, and we actually did them last weekend, right? So
I was expecting you to say you were going to run it on the cruise ship.
Oh, yeah, no. No. But for people who think in their mind that, I think some photographers think people won't photograph or won't do sessions that weekend because it's a family holiday weekend, but that's a perfect time to photograph. That's a perfect time for people to come in for portrait experiences.
So, Brad, does anything change in your studio over the Christmas period, or is it business as usual?
Well, I mean, we get a Christmas tree up.
Okay.
You know, and the studio gets decorated for Christmas. We don't do Christmas portraits. We don't sell cards. We ramp up marketing before Christmas. Yeah.
Right.
But it's business as normal.
So when you say you ramp up marketing, what do you mean by that? Like, what does that entail?
Mostly email campaigns. It'll be the only time of the year that I actually do targeted email campaigns, generally to our past databases, to drum them up to try and get them back into the studio. I don't run Christmas ads. I'll correct that. I don't run Facebook ads for families or for boudoir or for pets with a Christmas theme to them. Or I don't use Christmas as a call to action to get people to book. I've found that when I do that, I just get more expensive leads, and I'm better off just marketing as normal. I'm really boring. I'm honestly really boring with it. It's just the same business, same marketing spend, but actually a slightly increased marketing spend just because more people advertise around Christmas time. But it delivers, I say, the same revenue. November's always our busiest month, and December's generally quieter, but that's quieter because we take like a week and a half off. So we're operating on like 2.5 weeks revenue. So December will generally be lower than an average month. November will be higher.
Yeah, that's a concept that, you know, a lot of people find interesting, is that they can't fathom the idea that you can literally run the same ad every single month of the year, every day of the year if you wish to, and still have it work. So
I'm boring. The minute I found out that I could just run consistent ads all the time, then I just stopped. I stopped thinking so much. I stopped putting all the effort in. I say all the effort, I still put a lot of effort in. But I stopped, doing all of that other stuff because that just solved all the problems for me. I'm grumpy. Janine, if you just booked the exact same amount of like first birthday sessions in the time that you do, you'll probably make more revenue. It'll probably be easier for you. But I know you love doing it, so then do it. But like, I'd make less money doing all of that.
with that beard you're growing, Brad, you could fly to Tampa and like we'd stick a few pillows under your top and dye your beard white, and you could be like Janine Santa Claus with the beard you're growing.
That's your retirement gig, Brad. That's your retirement gig.
I don't think I'm cheery enough to be Father Christmas. But at the same time, I don't believe in Father Christmas. So I can't pretend to be a man that I don't believe in. That's like some weird paradox, isn't it? I pretend to be a man I don't believe in. Wow.
Anyways, what I was going to say is you can do both, and I do both, right? So we never stop our birthday ad. So our first birthday ad continues to run. And guess what? Babies are born in November and December. And so we continue first birthday sessions, but those are weekday sessions mostly for us. So on our Saturdays, we do our themed holiday portraits or family portraits, and the baby birthdays are still running during the week. So our November is usually 3 times the volume of the rest of the year. We bust. I'm not going to use our one curse word. We bust booty in November. And do all of the same birthday sessions and add in the holidays as well. So that's what makes me happy. Brad's right. That makes me happy. I love it. I love the buzzing of the holiday season. I caffeine up my team. We know we're going to go for 6 weeks straight without a break. And then we party hard afterwards, And so we run hard up until...
That microwave must be on overload.
That microwave? No, it's Starbucks, man. I make Starbucks runs, and I do it. I make the Starbucks runs, and I bring it to the team, and it makes us all happy, and we all smile. And now that Andrew Risby bought me this tea kettle, which, by the way, has a UK plug, so I have to go buy a converter for it before I can actually use it. Then we'll have Starbucks, the microwave, and this tea kettle going to caffeinate up the team the whole season.
It'll probably never boil anyway, Janine, because you're on a different voltage.
Yeah. Oh, too funny.
It's decorational.
Oh. Oh, Lord Almighty. Steve, did you guys do Black Friday sales or promotions or any type of marketing for it?
Stupidly, no. We should have, because it was creeping in, and I think it's it's a thing. It's not just an American thing anymore. You're seeing it everywhere. And so stupidly, no. And I'm blissfully unaware of even when it is, to be quite honest. When is it, Janine?
It's the Friday after Thanksgiving.
All right. Is that a big thing for you?
It is, and so, anybody listening in the U.S. knows Black Friday. And I think it's become pretty much a worldwide sensation. Now it's pretty much not just Friday anymore, right? The retail markets do it a lot longer than that Friday. But that's when they would go from the red to being in the black, right? That's traditionally in retail. That's the day where retail companies would go from being in the red in the year to being in the black. And so that's where the term came from. And because that's when everybody turns on and starts pouring out the money. So we've run different things. Usually it's not anything holiday related, surprisingly. The Jonathan, I can't remember if it was Jonathan or Brad who helped me last year brainstorm out the promotion we did last year, but it was all to get business in January, February, right? So we did a black and white Black Friday sale, and it wasn't a sale, right? It was a black and white Black Friday promotion. And it was just to get them to thinking about, it was a fun play on words. So it was to come in for black and white portraits in January and February. So they bought it then, and then they came in January and February for it. And so that was, so I find it just to be a fun way to do something but always to drive business in a time where we need the business. I don't need extra business in November and December. We already have that. I don't need to discount or run a sale or run a promotion for it. What I do like to do is while people are in that mode, think about getting them in for January, February, where we do need, to get more business in. So, this year, I'm already mulling over and again, you guys got to remember my business, right? It's themed children's, a lot of it, and the birthdays. So the movie Moana is being released in November, the new one, and it's predicted to be one of the biggest Disney movie releases in a really long time. I have a lot of clients that love Moana, and we've done a lot of Moana birthdays. So I'm working on a Moana theme for January. So I'm going to do a promotion to purchase that session on Black Friday.
Are you allowed to call it? Are you allowed to call it a Moana session? Like, is it?
No. No. We will not call it a Moana session. We'll do it our Beach Princess or something we'll call it something. I haven't come up with a name yet. That's all what I'm working on now. So that way it's ready to go. I'll have the images already created and done, and that'll be ready to go for to photograph in January.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
People must be hanging out to walk past and see what's happening at your place all the time.
We try to change it up. It's a lot of fun. But again, this is me, right? So I do think a season ahead because I'm always looking to see what's coming because we do the fun themes to get our clients back in over and over again to celebrate the different passions and obsessions of their children. And so for us, that does work. But we never turn off. And to Jonathan and Brad's point, and I want people to understand this, we never turn off that birthday ad. That's our bread and butter. That is what we photograph every day. It's our weekday sessions. We'll photograph one in the morning and one in the afternoon every single day, right? So not going to stop doing that.
So this is all the extra.
And those birthday kids come back for those, right? And, and it's fun for me. Steve, you and I have talked about this. Like I have these kids, they come in and I see them every year. I have kids now that I photograph a newborn. They're turning 17 and going off to college. And they've come to the studio every year they've been alive. How amazing is that? Like, I am their photographer. I'm their, we've built this relationship, and it's so much fun. And now I feel like I'm launching all these kids into college. I feel a part of their family.
Well, now at 17, you must be planning a Valentine's Day theme because surely now as they're getting older, they'll be coming in with their Valentine for February.
So, it's so funny. I used to joke that the perfect promotional product for a photography studio was fertility drugs. Put a Cloud9 logo on a fertility pill. Go, please have more children. Yeah, no, I know. But no, we do for our teens that are now in as they start doing their college acceptance. That's a big thing over here, right? When they name their colleges and where they've decided to go, and we do sessions for them in the spring with their college, all their college gear.
So that's before they start. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're all doing their applications right now. And they'll start getting their acceptances in January. And this is off topic of holiday. But yeah, no, it's just always looking for ways to bring back in my same client to celebrate with them what's going on in their life now, right? Yeah. But never turning off the bread and butter of what brings those clients into the studio for the first time.
Adding always.
Adding always.
Janine, if you're booking Christmas sessions for November in July and you're continuing booking it in November, what time period do you start preparing for Q1 of the next year? So 2025. Have you already started or? I've
already started. And actually you guys tease me about when I go on plane rides and go places, but that's honestly when I love flying as the rest of the world shuts off.
We all love going on vacation, so of course you love flying.
I'm not on vacation. I'm at a wedding. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so no, I've already started, but like I find time to shut off from the world to start planning because I have to, right? How would I know that I'm going to do these beach princess sessions in January and get this theme set up and get it photographed and everything if I was only in Christmas mode for now? We are a retail establishment. We have to think a season ahead. And I know people joke about it when they go to the stores and they see Halloween being sold in August, but that's what retail places have to do because people who are buying things and decorating and crafting, they have to do it a month ahead. And so for us, we always have to think a season ahead because we have to prepare for it. And you have to get your marketing out, your messaging out and everything ready to go. Because if you're thinking about it the day it needs to happen, it's too late.
And that's one of the huge benefits, Janine, of being like in the inner circle. Because right now in the inner circle, we're preparing for our Q1 and creating our Q1 plan. So
yes, we are. And it's critical. You have to, because you have to hit January 1 running. You can't on January 1 being like, all right, what am I going to do in 2025? It's too late. Too late. And I mean, it's better to start then than not start at all, but you should be starting. I always say you need to think a quarter ahead. You need to think like a retail establishment, which is what we essentially are.
Do you plan the whole year out?
I do a loose sketch of the whole year. Yes.
Okay. So you're not just planning one season ahead. You really got it.
Yep. My whole year is sketched out. And honestly, and like for those who have followed on with me who are big Christmas people, at Christmas, I'm actually photographing for next Christmas too, right? I already have everything all set up. I already have everything ready to go, and I'll plan, and I do a lot of my social media things for now and for next year, so they're ready to go for next year, and I don't have to pull everything out of storage sometime mid-year to get it done, right? So but yeah, no, this time of year, I'll sketch out all of 2025. As a loose plan, hard plan Q1.
So do you have like a magic wand to make it snow in Tampa for that, like those sessions, or is it?
I do, Jonathan. I do.
Okay.
I have done snow in so many ways. We've had snow machines from the ceiling. We've done it manually, right, where we have snow where kids will throw the snow, and then of course we have the magic of post-production where we add it later. So we do snow in lots of different ways.
I was just joking, but clearly you're not. You have it all covered.
I do have it.
People move to Florida to get away from the snow. They don't want snow at Christmas time. They want sand and sun like the Aussies. We go to the beach.
And we do Florida Christmas sessions too. We every 3 years I run a Florida Christmas session. We bring in 1,000 pounds of sand and we do a whole sand set.
1,000 pounds of sand.
1,000 pounds of sand.
That's incredible.
You gotta really can't do that in Photoshop. You can't replicate the feeling of sand in your toes in post-production. So we actually
just don't do any like Star Wars themed portraits at the same time, because Anakin Skywalker would hate you for that. But anyway. All right, so before we sign off, top 3 tips for preparing for Christmas or succeeding during Christmas. Brad, you go first.
You want 3 from me or 1 from me? Is it 1 and the...
Go for the 1, sir.
Oh, go! I'm going for the 1. Market.
Always be marketing. That was a pretty good British accent, wasn't it?
Not really.
No, not really.
Americans would think it was good.
Market, mate.
That was Australian.
Semi-Aussie.
Janine, go for it. 1 or 3, whatever you would prefer.
You have to think about it early. You have to plan early. You have to be ready. And don't... know what everybody's definition of Christmas is. You got to meet your deadlines. Don't disappoint your clients. It's the wrong time of year to disappoint people. And then 3, don't cut off your marketing. Don't cut off because mentally you're thinking that you have to be done 4 to 6 weeks ahead of time. Be creative. Figure out how you can deliver to your clients up until the holidays.
And Stefano, Antonio, Saperito.
Wow, yeah, the last one took mine. I was saying plan out what can be delivered and really promise what can be delivered before the holidays. And don't forget about Valentine's Day, because a lot of people get to February and think, oh, what am I going to do? And the problem is that most businesses have planned it out now in November or October. And so think about that now, because come January 1, all those Valentine's Day balloons go up, don't they, Janine?
They do.
Probably not. You've got princess balloons and all sorts of stuff. But, yeah, it's important to think about that now.
And the best way for you to be fully prepared for your Q1 2025 is to be a member of the Difference Maker Inner Circle. So make sure that you click the link below this video and book a call with the team where we can help figure out if Inner Circle is right for you. I'm 99% certain it probably will be. So go ahead, book your call today. We'll see you inside the Inner Circle. That's it for this podcast. Thank you for joining us.